Welcome back, occultists. Before we continue, make sure you like and subscribe to stay tuned to more haunting stories. My name is Clara, and what was supposed to be a dream vacation to a tropical island became a harrowing ordeal that nearly cost me everything. This is the story of my encounter with darkness in paradise, a tale of deceit, danger, and ultimately, survival. The island of Serenidad was hailed as a hidden gem, a secluded paradise in the Caribbean. When I saw an online ad for an all-inclusive vacation package at an unbelievable price, it seemed like the perfect escape from my mundane routine. The picture showed pristine beaches, crystal clear waters, and lush forests, a slice of heaven on earth. Little did I know, those images were a mask for a sinister reality. I arrived on Serenidad full of excitement. The sun was radiant, the air filled with the scent of the sea and blooming flowers. A charming man named Marco, claiming to be a representative of the resort, greeted me at the airport. He was charismatic and welcoming, offering to give me a brief tour of the island before checking in. Thrilled at the idea, I eagerly accepted. Marco drove me through quaint villages and along stunning coastlines. He was a great conversationalist, sharing stories about the island's history and culture. I was completely captivated, my initial apprehension melting away under his charm. Our last stop was a scenic lookout, offering breathtaking views of the ocean. But as I took in the scenery, Marco's demeanor changed. From the corner of my eye, I saw him making a call, his expression serious, his words hushed. Unease crept into my heart, but before I could react, I felt a sharp pain at the back of my head, and everything went dark. I awoke in a dimly lit room, my head throbbing, hands bound. Panic set in as I realized I was a prisoner. The room was sparsely furnished, with barred windows and a locked door. Fear gripped me. I was alone in a foreign country, kidnapped, my fate uncertain. Hours passed, each minute stretching into an eternity of fear and despair. Eventually, the door opened, and Marco entered, his charming mask now replaced by a cold, calculating gaze. "You're going to be valuable to us," he said, revealing the chilling truth. I was to be held for ransom, a pawn in a dangerous game played by a network of con artists and criminals who preyed on unsuspecting tourists. I thought of my family, my friends, the life I had left behind. Tears streamed down my face as the gravity of my situation sank in. I was in the hands of merciless strangers, my life hanging by a thread. Days turned into nights, marked only by the sporadic delivery of food and water. I was alone with my thoughts, oscillating between hope and despair. The sound of the ocean, once a soothing melody, now felt like a mocking reminder of my captivity. But I refused to give up. I knew I had to stay strong, to hold on to the hope of rescue. I thought of ways to escape, but the opportunity never came. My captors were always one step ahead. Then, just when I felt like all hope was lost, my chance came. One night, a storm hit the island, the ferocity of the wind and rain unlike anything I had ever experienced. The power went out, plunging the room into darkness. Using the cover of the storm, I managed to break free from my restraints, a feat fueled by desperation. I forced the window open, the bars weakened by rust, and climbed out into the raging night. Disoriented and scared, I ran through the storm, not knowing where I was going, driven by the instinct to survive. The rain lashed at me, the wind howled, but I kept moving, stumbling through the underbrush, my only goal to put as much distance between me and my captors. By sheer luck, I found a road and flagged down a passing vehicle. The driver, a local woman, saw the terror in my eyes and immediately offered help. She drove me to the nearest police station, where I told my story to disbelieving officers. The police acted quickly, launching a raid on the location I described. But by the time they arrived, Marco and his accomplices had vanished into the night, leaving behind the empty shell of their operation. I was safe, but the ordeal was far from over. The investigation revealed the depth of the criminal network on Serenidad. The resort was a front, a lure used by the con artists to target tourists. I was one of the lucky ones, others had not been so fortunate. The news of my kidnapping and the criminal ring made headlines, a dark cloud over the idyllic image of Serenidad. Tourists were warned, the network dismantled piece by piece by the authorities. I returned home, but the trauma of my experience lingered. Nightmares haunted my sleep, and the world felt like a more dangerous place. The carefree traveler I once was had been replaced by someone more cautious, more aware of the shadows that can hide behind a paradise facade. But I also found a strength in myself that I never knew existed. I had faced my worst fears and survived. I became an advocate for travel safety, sharing my story to educate others about the dangers that can lurk beneath the surface of attractive offers and destinations. My experience on Serenidad taught me the harsh reality that not every beautiful destination is safe, and not every friendly face is kind. It's a lesson I carry with me, a reminder to always be vigilant, to research thoroughly, and to trust my instincts. The island of Serenidad, once a symbol of my dream vacation, now represented my survival against all odds. The memory of my kidnapping, the fear, and the triumph of my escape are etched in my mind, a constant reminder of the thin line between adventure and peril.